On this week's episode, I'm joined by Vasco Ribeira Casais. Vasco is a composer, an entertainer, a producer, a creator, and by my count, plays about 8 musical instruments. We discuss, amongst other things, the unique anatomy of a Portuguese festa, his amazing project Omiri that combines old stories with new music, and we discuss all the things that he's learned and appreciates about Portugal while doing this project. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life, and I'm really excited to be joined here by Vasco Ribeira Casais. Vasco, hello, and thank you for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. Hello.
You're very welcome. How are you today?
Fine. Recovering from a weekend of touring, but happy.
Very good, very good. Vasco, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about you?
I'm Vasco Ribeira Casais. I'm a musician, producer, visual artist, businessman, and I live in Portugal, in Setúbal, a city 50 kilometers south of Lisbon. And I love music and art and people, and that's my life. Music and people.
Okay, that's a lot of things. Musician, producer, art, visual artist. In Portugal, we have a name for that, polyvalent.
Yeah.
It's there's no real English translation for that word, polyvalent.
It's like do everything.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, exactly. You just came back from a concert, right? So you mentioned you were in Santiago.
Yeah, I was with one of my projects, Seiva, was in Santiago de Compostela in a very nice festival, Tradfest, in the center of the city, in a park with a lot of traditional music. It was really cool. And on the day before, I was with Omiri and with a cantadeira. Cantadeira is a project of my wife, and we played together 2 bill concerts in Celurico de Basto. It was on the way up, so it was a cool weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Vasco, our listeners love to learn about our guests, their hometown, and where they're from and where they grew up. So if I remember correctly, you're originally from Lisbon? Yeah. Which part?
I grew up in Lumiar. It's in the north part of Lisbon, and I was born in the center of Lisbon, but since I remember, I lived in Lumiar and grew up there. Went to school there. And then I lived in Lisbon. When I went out of home, I went to the center of city, to Saldanha, and then I lived 5 years in Campo de Ourique. Campo de Ourique is a really nice cool neighborhood. It's in the center of Lisbon, but you feel like you're in a small village. You know everybody, and you have the small markets. It's really cool. I really enjoyed living there.
Yeah, Campo de Ourique is a nice place. You have the original Time Out Market was started there with the market, with the concept with the restaurants around the mercado. And then you have a little pond there with the frogs. Remember, it's a really cool neighborhood. And what's his name? Fernando Pessoa lived there.
Yeah, he lived there. There's it was the Fernando Pessoa's house. It was 10 minutes walking from my house. So
very cool.
It was cool. And then I went again to Lumiar to my parents' house. I bought my parents' house, and then I left Lisbon and lived in a really small village in the middle of the mountain in Serra da Rábida, near Setúbal. And I lived there for 7 years. And then during the pandemic, I moved to Lisbon, to Setúbal, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I have 2 little daughters, and in the middle of the mountain, you have to do everything by car, even to go to the supermarkets. So it was lots of traveling to take the kids to school.
Yeah, with kids, it's not easy. You have to be closer to things.
Yeah.
And how old are your daughters?
One is 6 and the other is 10.
Okay. So at this age, dad is still cool, and they haven't become teenagers yet.
That is still cool, but they are tired of concerts and musicians.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I mean, speaking of music, I mean, how did you get into music? How did that become your career path?
Yes, when I was 11 years old, my father bought a guitar, and me and my brother used to play guitar at home, always playing. And then there was a time I was into skateboarding. I was a crazy guy, always skateboarding, always into skating. And then I had an accident skating, and I had to stay at home for 2 or 3 months. And I had the guitar and start playing. And then my parents said, you're doing cool, you should have lessons. And then I went to study classical guitar. And at the same time, I was into hardcore metal bands in my neighborhood.
Wow. Okay.
And then it was like that. And I fell in love with music. And 15 years old, 16 years old, I already knew that I wanted to be a musician.
Amazing. So the skateboard accident was a lucky accident.
Yeah, I still have a skate, and I still follow lots of the skateboarding scene, but I know that I can skating, because anytime I pick a skate, I go, it's cool, just relax. But then you get some trust and want to do some maneuvers, and you end up in the floor.
Yeah. The last time I got on a skateboard, I ended up on my back without any wind. You know, when you knock the wind out of your, and you feel like you're dying. You feel like you're dying inside. I won't do that again. I'm too big for that now, man.
I really know that feeling, that you're looking for a spot that you can let the hair in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a good feeling.
Vasco, one of the things that I realized when I moved to Portugal 13 years ago, almost 13 years ago. But before that, I'd visited a lot, and some of the best concerts that I've ever been to in my life were here in Portugal. And one of the things I realized very soon is that there is a strong relationship in this country with people and music, and all types of music. You just mentioned heavy metal, and you've got all the different cultural music. You've got the festas, you've got the carnival music. We love music in this country. I mean, so it was good for you to be surrounded by that kind of influence.
Yes, I only knew that influence, so I don't know how it's in the other countries, but here I think people are really open to different kinds of music. And even if you're in a niche, like you're in metal, but if you go to a festa where they're playing pimba music and dancing, you can go there and you can enjoy metal and still going to a festa and enjoying yourself. It's of course there are people that are really close to their musical tastes, but people tend to enjoy everything and to be open. I think it's not just in music, it's a characteristic of the Portuguese. First, we tend to be, who's that guy, who's that girl, strange, but then after 10 or 15 minutes, it's a part of the family, and it's really a part of the family. So Portugal is a really good place to, we tend to welcome everybody, and welcome and to put them as a part of our society. We tend to do that. So in music is the same. We really love music, and all kinds of music are accepted.
Yeah, we'll come on to the music and things like that, Vasco. But just to come back to that thing of being accepting and open as a country and as a culture, why do you think we like that in Portugal? I know it might be a strange question, but where do you think that comes from? Because it is something that's unique to Portugal.
I don't know. Maybe as we did the expansion in 500 years ago, and we went all over the world. So maybe we now are more open to the difference, and know that being different is not being our enemies or something like that. You can be different, and we can share things together. But you feel that in really small neighborhoods, that you have a guy from India, a guy from China, a guy from Africa, and you go to that place. Oh, can you borrow me some eggs? And then they go and, oh, I have a problem with my door, can you help me? So I lived in places like that, and it really works. It really works like that. So I'm not saying that we are perfect, because we have lots of problems to solve and to grow up as a country and as people. But we tend to receive well. Yeah, I don't know, explain why.
No, it makes sense, and it's true. It's true. You also mentioned a festa and the festas, and how a festa could be, you can have some metalheads and they will be dancing to Pimba at a festa. First of all, the obvious question, and for a lot of people listening, they don't know what is a normal Portuguese festa. So tell us, just paint us a picture of because there's a lot of them happening at this time of the year.
Yeah.
What is a normal, and we're back. I mean, we haven't had festas for 2 years. So what is a festa, Portuguese festa, and what does it look like?
We have lots of different kinds of festas, but normally it's not normally, but the major part of the festas are in a celebration to some Catholic saint or divinity. That's so you have usually you have a procession. I don't know in English. When people, where people go with a saint and have that's the part that happens in the afternoon, and then after that you have food places with food, people cooking traditional food or fish. During the last month in June you have lots of fish,
sardines,
all around Portugal. Sardine, people grilling sardines and drinking a lot, wine and beer, and then you have music for people to dance. So it's in every place you have even when you have a more alternative band or something like that, you end up with a DJ playing the popular tunes, so people dance and then dance together. So it's open air, small places, open air, foods smell like the grilled fish in the air, people drinking, lights, and listening to music and having fun. It's like the picture is like that all over the place. And from place to place you have different music, different kinds, sometimes with the traditional instruments, sometimes with the more electronic scene, sometimes with the mainstream artists. So but food and music, it's always there.
and drink
yeah, but good foods. It's sardines, always. Fish, one thing, petiscos. One thing we miss a lot when we go abroad is the food, is the kind of food. There are places where we go that we feel okay, this is similar, or but the Portuguese are the first one to sit in a place to have a meal, and the last one to get up.
That's very, very true. Yeah, I mean, my wife has been, she kind of made this, been checking where all the different festas are going to be in our area. So we're in an area north of Lisbon, around Óbidos.
Obidos, yeah.
And yeah, you have the medieval festival, of course, is the very well known one. But then there's lots of ones in the little villages, and some villages that I never knew even existed. They have like this huge festa, and Kim Barreiros goes there and plays, and it's incredible. I mean, it is something that a lot of people never grew up with. You know, I didn't grow up with festas when I grew up in South Africa. And it's something that's so normal for Portuguese people, but it's such a joyful thing. Everyone coming together and eating and enjoying and having fun.
Yeah. I think that's the purpose of thing is to being together and having fun and to chill and to share. And we really need that. I think in these last 2 years, it was a really issue for everyone, the festas, and of course you have the marches, the popular march, where the neighborhoods compete to each other with to have the best song or the best outfit. So you all also have that all around the country.
I mean, what do you think? Because it was something that people really missed. It was a real saudade. It was a real thing that was missing from our culture at that time. Again, it might seem like a strange question, but why is it so important? Why is it because of just gathering together and being together at that time of the year? Why is it so important to our culture that we do these festas and get together?
I think the question of being healthy is not just being physically healthy. You have to share, to be with other people, to relax. So I think it's a part of the culture. I don't know how to answer to your question, but I think we need to touch people, to have fun, to be outside, everyone together, and being 2 years away from the others, not seeing the faces, not seeing the smiles. So it really messes with our minds. So it's really important. And you see that in this return, everybody's wanted to go to every place is full. You go to any small village, as you said, and it's full of people everywhere. Even here in Setúbal, last a week ago, I had a concert really outside my house, and then I went 5 minutes near the center, and I had a different concert there, and all full, and the street full of people.
Yeah,
and it's good weather, so we tend to go outside.
Yeah, well, I love the fact that it's outside, and I love the places that we do these festas. It's always on a beautiful square, or like you mentioned, in a park, in front of an old monastery, or in front of a church. We have a really beautiful country for these kind of festas, for these kind of concerts.
Yeah. I don't know why. I never thought of, I never thought of it. Never thought of why is that like that. But yeah, it's happening. It's the heritage from centuries of living.
Yeah. You've also been involved with some bigger concerts, Vasco. Now we're not talking festas, but talking festa, big concerts, big festivals. Again, why is Portugal such a good place for big concerts and big festivals as well?
I think first of all, for foreigners, it's because it's cheap, so you can go here. The food, you can eat well. You can go to a really good restaurant and pay a lot, but you can pay in a small restaurant in any corner. You can eat well, so, and you don't pay a lot, and you can sleep well. You have good places to receive. We like to receive, so I think that's the first part of the festivals. The weather is good, so and you're near the beach, so you can go to a festival to enjoy music at night, and during the day to go to a swim in the sea. So it's cool, and you have lots of festivals near the sea, or if it's not near the sea, it's near a river. So it's you can play, and people enjoy music. And now Portugal, it's for a long time it's in the map of the international festivals. So it's you can see a band here, or you can see in Paris or in England. So it's the bands pass through here, and so it's good. And sometimes the question of money, you with a ticket to an English festival like Glastonbury, you can see a similar lineup, not the same, but with a ticket you can pay the food, you're staying, and the ticket to the festival. So it's a good thing, and people enjoy music, and it's safe. It's a safe country. Also, you have, of course, you have problems, but in general, people, you can go in the center of Lisbon at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're safe. You don't have any problems.
Yeah, that's I think a big factor. What's your favorite plate of food, or your favorite petisco or food at a festa, Vasco?
Actually, I'm not the really good person for that question, because I'm vegetarian.
So the festas are not good for you if you're a vegetarian. Jesus.
So
meat or fish, that's it.
Yes, I'm vegetarian, and I also don't drink, so I'm not the really cool guy for the festas. But I go there and tend to amuse myself without eating sardines or chorizos.
Vasco, how many musical instruments do you play? I'm looking behind you. That's like that instrument you've got behind you is like a bagpipe, right?
Yeah. It's
the traditional.
It's Portuguese bagpipes, the two of it. This one is the red one is Portuguese, the from the coastline, from Setúbal to Galicia, they play that bagpipe.
Okay.
And the other one is from the northeast part of Portugal, Trás-os-Montes. It's a different kind of bagpipe.
And what's the difference? It's in the sound?
Yes, it's one is more smooth and has a major scale, and the other one is more like rustic, like more from the devil bagpipe. And I study guitar. I learned to play guitar. It was my first instrument, and I went to the conservatory. I play classical guitar, and then I fell in love with the world music scene, and I learned to play some flutes, some bagpipes, and then I start to thinking, okay, but I'm here just learning instruments from another countries, and Portugal is so rich. So I start playing the Portuguese instruments. Like I have cavaquinho. It's like the ancestor of the ukulele.
Okay.
And I also play the viola braguesa. It's like in Portugal we have people tend to know the Portuguese guitar, like the fado Portuguese guitar, but you have the viola portuguesa, the from Lisbon, and you have viola from Coimbra. It's the same, a bit smaller with some, and you also have a viola from Porto, in the shape of the Portuguese guitar, in the shape of the pier. And like this one, they call it violas de arame. It's like arame. It's like this kind of string, steel string guitars, and you have 7 of it, 7 different ones. This is from Braga, in the north. And you have
beautiful.
From Alentejo, the viola campaniça. You have it viola toeira from Coimbra, viola beiroa from Beira Alta in the center, and you have a twin like this from the city next to Braga, Amarante. It's like Amarantina. It's like the same instrument, but with some more frets. So you have lots of different ones. Now I'm just playing the Portuguese ones. I'm playing this and cavaquinho, but I have to learn a few more.
I don't know if you need to learn any more instruments. It sounds like you play what, maybe 10 different types of instruments.
I play the gaitas, the two of them, but actually it's like the same. The fingering is the same, so it's one instrument, and I play the guitars are a bit like the same. So it's, if you know how to play guitar, you play all of them. The tuning is different. You have to think about a bit about where to put your fingers, but you have the fingers trained, so it's good. And I also play one instrument that is not Portuguese. It's nickel harp. This is an instrument. It's a medieval instrument that used to exist in the center of Europe, France, Poland, Germany. And then it has more expression in the north of Europe, in Sweden. So it was in Sweden that they developed the instrument and put it to this shape. It's like a kid fiddle. It's called nickel harpa, but it's not a violin, a viola d'arco. But with keys, instead of pressing the string like this, you have keys and. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it's not a Portuguese instrument, but
it has some kind of, you can see how it would fit with some of the music.
Yeah, it's nowadays I like to blend the cultures, and as a musician and as an artist, I fell in love with that instrument, and I wanted to play my own way.
Beautiful. I only play 2 instruments, so I'm a little bit jealous. I play harmonica and guitar, but for many years. But this is one of the ways that we got in touch, Vasco, was I saw a story on the news about Omiri, the project you're doing, Omiri, and the blending. So speaking of blending of cultures, tell us a little bit about that project and how it started.
Actually, it started like me. I was playing with a lot of bands, and I was tired of negotiation with the other band members, and someone didn't come to the rehearsal, someone didn't like them songs, so I made a solo project. And then I was just it's me playing and looping. It was more or less it was 2007 that I started, 2006, 2007. And then one guy, Tiago Pereira, it's a video director that makes lots of field recordings and has a really cool archive of Portuguese music. And he saw the concert, and we were exchanging. He didn't like something that I did in the concerts, because I was playing for traditional music, ball, people dancing, but I wasn't playing Portuguese music. I was just playing European music, French, Belgium, Spanish, and he was criticizing myself in a blog, and everybody was in the blog saying stuff. And then Tiago was making a movie, and he invited me to do a movie, to do an interview in his movie. And then I met him, and then we got really close, and we start doing this solo project together with he on a video. And then a couple of years, but the videos were about dancing. We had Charlie Chaplin, Andrés Marker, the contemporary dance. It was just video of people dancing in the video. And then Tiago started to do the field recording and this project that is called Música Portuguesa a Gostar dela Própria. It's like Portuguese music enjoying itself. and he records field recordings, and then he gave me some of that video field recordings, and I did a remix with the people with the video, and I did a remix when the sound, you had a guy in the video playing drum, and I edited so he played the music I want, like da 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 da. He was playing like this in the video, and I edited, and I joined a lady singing, and I did a song like that. And then we decided it wasn't a really, how do you say, it blow up a lamp here. That's the way to go.
A light bulb moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Tiago start doing just with the field recordings, and I was doing I'll say I made a remix, and then Tiago put videos on top of it live. And then the project was a side project, just to having fun, but people really connect with it. People saw the old lady singing, people saw the culture, and in every place we were playing, people really connected with what we were doing. And then Tiago didn't have more time to do it with me because he was always recording and always doing videos. And then I made myself the rest of the work. In the beginning, using his videos. He's always send me new videos because he's a workaholic, always recording new people around Portugal. And then in a way, I felt that I really need to connect to the people, and now I'm recording the videos myself. And so I have a show that is really visual. It's me alone on stage with the videos, with lots of people in the videos playing with me. So I have it's electronic, but all the electronics comes from the sound of the videos. So when you see the concert, you're hearing tiki 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 tiki, and there's a guy playing tiki tiki. You hear some guitars. Sometimes I'm playing that guitars, but sometimes there's a lady in the video playing the guitar, and you hear the voices and people singing. So it's a journey through Portugal from now north to south, from the islands. And I have all the cliches that you see in a pop rock concert, like people saying, hey, oh, hey, oh. But it's the ladies in the video doing that, or people waving, lots of stuff like that. And besides, that's a regular show that I do. And of course, you have the music. You can listen to the music, but I think this project is not completed without. Even if you see the videos on YouTube, it's not the same of seeing a live performance, because it's really all of it. It's the video, it's the music, it's my performance.
Because I've seen sometimes you even project the images onto buildings and things like that, depending on the show, right?
Yeah, that's a different kind of project. It's the same project, but I'm since 2019, I've been invited to do some special shows in some municipality, in some place, in some area. They invite me, and I spend 6 months in the place recording and talking to people, and I prepare a special show just with the music from that region, music and the identity and the sounds, everything I can manage to fit in a show. And then I put it in sometimes in a square with video all around. I do a mapping stuff, not mapping animation, but I put that guy there, that lady there, and I also invite the local people, the local community to be a part of the show and to perform with me. So it's really, it's all about the people, and the people really connect, because the first one was in Évora, in Alentejo, and there was the barber playing castanhetes. There was the local choir singing cant in a show with me, but I was down here, and they were in the balcony singing the choir. There was a lady with a loom in the center of the square. So, and people who attend the show, the locals, they knew the barber and they knew the guys from the cant, and they knew. So it was really a celebration of that region. So it's really emotive. It's all about the people, really emotive, and really it's a celebration of that region. And
I'm fascinated I'm fascinated with this connection, how you're bringing that kind of electro, but still keeping those traditional sounds and elements and visuals. This still feels like something that's important for people today. You know, it feels like there's still this country that wants to move, that is moving forward with the rest of the world and the rest of Europe. It wants to still remember and hold on to culture, tradition, the old way of doing things. Do you feel that now as well with the responses that you get from these projects?
Yes, I think it's really important for every country, not just Portugal. It's really important to have a balance between the globalization, to being connected all over the world, and the way I feel the world should be is like a big country. All the world is a big country, so everybody is connected. We don't have frontiers, but it's a big country, but every place has his own identity. You have to keep the identity and share the identity, but so it's really important to be yourself and to be a part of something bigger. So I think it's that, and it's for even for that people. I also do a book with the image from the people, with text and explain in that special shows. So it's for the people that I record, and when they see themselves in the video, and normally that special shows is really big videos, like a monastery, a facade of a monastery is like I don't know, 15 meters tall, 100 meters large. So it's a really, really big scale. I'm like this in a really good, really big video. And when people see themselves, it's me there. It's like a feeling that their legacy prevails, and that their work, and some people are anonymous. They are not artists. They are not used to being a part of. They are known in that streets and with their families, but they feel that the legacy prevails, and they feel really. I'm missing the words. Compensated and
noticed.
Noticed, and it's like this, and also with the book, when they see the picture in the book and see some text about themselves, they feel it's all about the people. And and I managed to do a really good show with all the technology and all the entertainment part, but keeping the emotion and the heritage of the people. Beautiful. And keeping the culture alive. For the tradition to evolve, you have to keep alive the instruments and the traditions. You have to evolve. You have to adapt to your own times. And I think you have a balance between recording and to archives, to recording and to know the traditions to the archives. It used to be like this and used to be like that, and to keeping alive even the festas, as we were talking. There are different from year to year. If you saw the festas, I think 20 years ago, it was a different kind of music, different kinds of stuff. But now you feel you're in 2022, and that festa makes sense to you, and you feel the heritage that comes with it. So my work is a bit like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you in a way have reconnected with parts of the Portuguese culture and tradition in this work?
Yes, of course. In the beginning, I really didn't enjoy lots of traditional music. I was tending to just look abroad and to the different kinds of traditions of the other countries, and then I realized that what I enjoy in the music that I listen for example, from Sweden or from Ireland, it was that they pick the traditions and develop it and give a new approach to the traditions. So I thought, okay, I will do that with the Portuguese tradition. And now, even more than the traditions and even more than the music itself, I fell in love with the people. So I go there and meet someone and try to learn as much as I can about the work they are doing, about their lives and what they have to tell me. And that's really cool.
Amazing. It's a beautiful project, Vasco. Congratulations. It's really special. I want to come and see one live. So that's it's on my bucket list, but it's a really beautiful project. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You have to come and see.
For sure. What have you learned about your country, about your people, about the culture by doing this? What have you learned that has surprised you along the way?
The best thing I learned, it was one thing that I already talked about, is the way people receive. People are really so. We tend the work it's usually done like this. We call the people and say, we want to record, we have this project like this. It's difficult to explain, so they are a bit they really don't trust, but you can come, and then I go there and people, who's that crazy guy that wants to film me? I show them the videos, I show them. But after 5 or 10 minutes of people talking, say, you want to hit something? Where are you coming now? You should stay here a bit more. So people tend to like to receive, and I've been a part of the family. And the other thing that was really cool with this work is, as a musician, I travel a lot, but you travel in a free way. So you go from Lisbon to Porto or Lisbon to Coimbra, and you go always on the highway, and you see lots of small village around the highway. And now I go to I'm sorry, I go to the highway, and then I know that small road that goes there. I've been there in that small village. So, and it's in Portugal, it's people are a bit the same, but from north to south, people are different. They sing different songs, they play different instruments. The culture is very different from place to place. The way people speak is different. So it's, how you say, I'm learning each day. I'm learning new stuff, new ways of doing, new ways of building stuff, or new crafts. I don't learn the crafts. I just learn how people do it. So Beautiful. It's really cool. It's really
amazing. Cool. Vasco, what's one thing that you want people to remember and take away from our conversation? Just one thing.
One thing is Portugal is a really simple and a really kind country. And people are really simple and kind, and it's a good place to be. It's a really good place to be.
Okay, very important question. How can people find you online, follow your work, learn about where your concerts are going to be, get an idea of these amazing projects that you're doing?
It's Omiri. If you look for Omiri, there's also some Japanese and some Arabic spelling the same way, but Omiri, Portuguese music.
What does it mean, Vasco?
It's Omiri. It's the name of a tree in Brazilian Portuguese.
Okay.
That makes a balsamic essence for curing people. Now, if it was now, I put it a different name. But back in the days, it makes sense.
It's a unique name. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where else can we find you?
Yeah. You can find me everywhere. Omiri.eu is my headquarters, my main site. But I'm in Instagram, in Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all the stuff. It's easy to Omiri.
Okay, we'll put show notes. We'll put links in the show notes of the podcast so people can find you and follow and be kept up to date with your next projects and concerts and everything. And certainly, I want to come and see a concert in person. It'll be amazing. Where's the next place? Where's the next concert?
Next place, it will be a really cool. It's in Saint Solos. It's Bons Sons, Festival Bons Sons.
Okay, yeah.
And last year I made a special concert, this one big that I was telling you about, and I made in Tomar. Tomar is
Tomar is amazing, yeah.
The place where the festival is held. Saint Solos is a small village near, and I spent exactly in the time of the festival that wasn't happening. I was in the village filming people from the village for my show. And this year I already presented in Tomar, but this year I will make a special show in the festival with a video in a church, with some footage from the village. It will be cool.
Amazing. Okay. Finally, Vasco, a question that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life? Why?
I don't know how to answer it. Portugal, I really like it. It's lots of things are really simple, and you tend to solve it, but I don't know why. But it's a good place to be. Why? Maybe because of the people. It's the answer.
Awesome. Vasco, thank you for being on the podcast. I've loved this conversation.
Okay, thank you very much.
And I'm going to let you call it.
So that's a wrap.
So thank you once again to Vasco, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as we say in Portugal, boas festas. Welcome to the simple life.